And welcome back to another episode of Tea Time with Terry Ann. I am Terry Ann. Today I am here with Becky Heimonen. I met Becky recently at a Christian business networking event, and so we've met together for the last several months. When we got grounded and all told we had to stay home, we've continued meeting online. Today, I'm going to speak with Becky. We're going to talk about some of the challenges that she has experienced and how she has overcome them and what she's doing with her life today. Welcome, Becky. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
And I see you have your cup of tea there with you today. What kind of tea are you drinking?
I have a lovely green tea in my library reading challenge. Imagine that cup.
Oh, wonderful. My tea today is, what am I doing? Oh, I'm doing a nice chamomile today. I love chamomile. It doesn't make me sleepy. It calms me. And I really like my chamomile for that. Well, Becky, it's been a pleasure getting to meet with you and learn about you the last few months. Would you please share today, what are some of the challenges that you have experienced in life and how have you overcome them? Give me an example of one.
Okay, a couple of them come to mind. One is when I was going through a divorce a couple of years ago. I was in the middle of a lot of pain, and I basically just spewed out venom everywhere about my husband and all the things that he had done to me. And whether real or imagined, it was, I told everyone who would listen. And after a couple months of that, I realized that the kids on my bus, because I was driving a school bus at the time, were being more disrespectful than they had been previously. And I started thinking about that and realized that it was a result of me being disrespectful to my husband. And whether we call it karma or kismet, the Bible says, as a man sows, so shall he also reap. Basically, any type of spiritual practice gives this information that what you put out there will come back to you. And when I recognized that, I not only started insisting on respect from the kids, but I also made a point of being more respectful in my words toward my husband. Because regardless of whether I believed he deserved respect, as a human being made in the image and likeness of God, he deserved respect. And I had to ask God to help me with that. But so
out of your pain, you found your part and what you needed to do. And as you started to change the way you spoke about, despite the divorce going on, you changed how you were speaking about it. How did the kids start to react to you then?
They became more respectful. It works in a positive way as well. And a friend also gave me this.
What are some of the things that says?
It said, free, forgiven, made in his image, chosen, wanted, blessed.
Oh, wow.
And it originally had a bunch of negative things around the outside to indicate the things that we are bombarded with, and then the truth of what God tells about us was in the middle of it. So I put this on my refrigerator, and I kept seeing all the negatives, and I said, I don't want to see those. So I cut them off.
Oh, nice. So now you could only look and be reminded of those things of I am. I
Right.
am chosen. I am loved. Wow. So now you weren't telling the kids about your divorce, but your persona changed
Right.
because your mindset had changed. So it's interesting how our mindset can change. And you found that in the midst of that pain.
Yeah.
Very good. How have you been able to continue maintaining that?
I make a point of, I start my day with 4 spiritual practices. I read the Bible, I pray, I do yoga, and I do an abundance meditation with my essential oils. And that sets the tone for my day. It gives, I consider it my solid balance, my four-legged balance to my day.
Oh, great way to start the day. Great foundation there.
And I also look for things to be grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the midst of this pandemic, I can be grateful that I can communicate via Zoom. I am grateful that I have people that I have relationships that I have established, that I have people to communicate with. So there's a lot to be grateful for.
Very good. Great reminder. What's something? Is there anything else that has affected your life that you come out growing and would love to share?
Well, the other one that comes to mind is when I was driving a school bus, and we all left the school at the same time, as we always did. And there were 4 buses that went to the same little small town from the school. It was a rural school. And I came over the hill to see that the bus in front of me was sliding down the road on its side.
Oh my.
And God helped me, gave me presence of mind to immediately call in the accident and slam on the brakes. By the time I got stopped at the bottom of the hill and the bus had bounced the rest of the way off the road onto its roof, I had called it in. And then I kind of I put the parking brake on and stood up, and I'm like in shock. No idea what to do next. And my daughter came up and said, I'm trained in first aid. Can I help? And her calm demeanor allowed me to collect my thoughts and say, yes, you can help. Go see if there's anybody out there that needs some help that you can do on the spot. And she and 2 other students went out. They took bandages with them, and they helped where they could. And so by the end of that day, I was very emotionally drained, as you can imagine.
Yes.
But when I finally collapsed into bed at midnight, my brain would not settle down and let me sleep. And school was not canceled the next day because school believed that maintaining a routine would be more beneficial to the students. So I prayed, God, I need to get some sleep. I have to drive again in the morning. And it was not a spoken voice, but a fully formed thought came to my mind. You have oils. Use them. I had just received my essential oil kit the previous week, and I had put it in a drawer. And I was like, okay, I need to study a little more about this before I start using it.
Mhm.
But I knew from the class that I had been to that it had peace and calming in it. And I got out the peace and calming and I rubbed it on my chest and my neck. And within 10 minutes, I was asleep
Wow.
because I just needed to calm my mind. And that allowed my mind to settle down and have the peace that I needed to get some sleep. So then I started learning more about oils. And a few months later, I was reading a book about the healing oils of the Bible. And again, that same nonverbal voice came into my mind. You are being so selfish to learn all this and not share it. You need to share this. And I was like, oh no, God, way outside my comfort zone. No, I'm not going to go there. But that thought kept persisting. You're being selfish.
Hmm.
These have helped you, and you know they can help other people. And so at that point, I started looking into what I needed to do to share them with other people.
Nice. So are you now sharing this information with these oils other than our conversation today?
I am. I am. I have a few of the product guides and I give to people when they show a lot of interest, but
Mm-hmm.
more than that, I share my own learning and my own experiences with them because Young Living oils are purer than, or they're more consistently pure, I should say,
Mm-hmm.
than the other
Mm-hmm.
essential oil market.
Hmm.
And because of that, they don't use, inexpensive chemicals to get rid of the pests and the weeds. So they are more expensive,
Mm-hmm.
or at least they appear to be, because the effectiveness is also better because of that consistent purity.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to share why, although it seems to be more expensive, it's actually a better deal.
I've heard an awful lot of people talking about oils and different kinds and all. Is this just a trendy fad, like the latest diet or something that comes through? Is this just something trendy that's happening, or is there more to it than that?
There's a lot more to it than that. Essential oils have actually been around for thousands of years.
Really?
They were used in ancient Rome, in Greece. They were used in Egypt. There's even information about them in some of the hieroglyphics. They were used for embalming as well as maintaining health. And they were used in the Bible. There are, I don't know, I think I've heard like 80 references, 80 something. I have not checked that. But I do know that when there are references to myrrh and frankincense that were brought to Jesus as a gift, those were essential oils. And
Oh, yes,
they were very commonly used there. So the reason that there's just passing references in the Bible is because they were so commonly used that there was no reason to expound on them.
Mm-hmm.
The Bible is basically a history book, and we don't put in our history books how to use aspirin and mascara. We don't.
Okay. Interesting. Good. Hadn't thought of it that way. I apologize. My microphone just came down. Oh, but technology. But we move forward anyway. I will just move the microphone over a little bit. I apologize for the interruption. That's interesting. Do you have products other than oils? Is it all simply oils?
There are many products. Young Living has been around, I believe they just celebrated their 26th year, and they are the product leader. So when somebody else has an essential oil or an essential oil product, they will usually compare it to Young Living.
Uh-huh.
You don't need to buy Young Living because ours is whatever.
Oh, yes. Okay. So it's the standard right now.
Right. There are beauty products. There are clean products. There are some foods. There are vitamins and other nutrition products. There's even a special line for children and one for pets.
Very good.
And those oils are diluted so that you don't have to dilute them before you use them with your pets and your children.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Most of the oils are not diluted so that you get the full benefit, and you can dilute them if you personally need them, if you're more sensitive to them or you want a smaller dose.
And do you get a good instruction on how to use them?
The product guide and the bottles give some information. There's an app from Life Science Publishing that gives a lot more information.
Oh, okay. So there is a place to go to find out exactly what you're looking for and how to use it. Very
yes.
good.
And when people sign up for a regular membership, where a wholesale membership, and I know that they're planning to buy more than just one product, I do sign them up for the app.
Okay.
I include that as part of their, as my thank you gift to them.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Because they need to learn how to use them,
mm-hmm.
so that they can have a healthier lifestyle.
Very good. So how has your life changed since you've come through the divorce? You've learned to speak out of your pain. You've learned how you have to take control of your mind and your thoughts, that you are the only one responsible for your thoughts. How has all this affected your life now?
I have gotten much closer to God. God helped me through that. I did a lot of crying, a lot of praying. I still do sometimes, but God is always there. And it helps me to know that Jesus came here and left the majesty of heaven to suffer the pain just so that he would know what we're going through. And that kind of love is just completely, it's unfathomable.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk about it, but I cannot totally understand it, because I wouldn't love somebody enough to leave a palatial, easy life so that I could suffer in the slums, so that I knew what the people that were homeless were going through.
Mm-hmm.
No. I might go serve a meal to them, but I'm not going to go live on the streets with them.
And that's an amazing God who would step down and do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that's you know, he did that and more for us.
thank you so much for sharing your time and your story with us. I so appreciate that. I will have your contact information, if that's okay, at the end of this, so that people, if they wanted to contact you to discuss your young living, I want to make sure I got the word right, the young living oils, that you would be happy to help them. Is that correct?
Awesome.
Okay, I
Yes,
will include that information. Watch very closely. It will be right after this. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed learning
thank you.
more about Becky today. Thank you, Becky, for joining us. And grab your cup of tea, relax, enjoy the day, and we will see you at the next Tea Time with Terry Ann.